The insult arena was cold. Metal walls surrounded the fighters like a cage. Lights flashed from above. The crowd was loud. Humans, aliens, and others from far places. They had come to watch a fight. Today's challenge was different. On one side stood a human soldier named Brent. Tall, strong, known for winning. He had fought many alien warriors and never lost. He smiled at the crowd and raised his fists. They cheered for him. On the other side, she stood alone, an alien girl. Stepped forward. Her skin was blue like the sky before night. Her eyes glowed gold, sharp and serious. Her red hair was tied in many braids that reached her armored shoulders. But the crowd did not cheer for her. They laughed. Who is she? Someone shouted. A girl in that soft armor. Does she think this is a game? Brent looked at her and raised an eyebrow. Your armor's a joke, he said. Loud enough for all to hear. People laughed again. The comment echoed through the arena. But the alien girl didn't move. She just smiled. Then she said, in a soft voice that made even the machines quiet, then you won't like what it's made of. Her name was Kaelna. She came from a planet, no longer found on any star map. Her people had been forgotten, scattered after war and destruction. She was not a trained soldier. She was not here for glory. She was here for truth. The announcer's voice boomed through the arena. Begin. Brent, move fast. He charged at her, strong arms ready to strike. Kaelna didn't move. His punch hit her chest, or it should have. But the moment his fist touched the strange silver blue armor, something happened. It didn't crack. It didn't bend. Instead, it shimmered, like water, then like glass, then like something alive. Brent pulled his hand back fast. It hurt. More than it should. The crowd went quiet. Kaelna took one step forward, and the ground under her foot lit up with strange symbols. They moved like they were written by light itself. Brent frowned. What are you? Kaelna spoke again. This armor was not built. It was born. He attacked again, this time with his foot, aiming at her side. But the armor moved. It shifted, like it knew where the hit would land. It twisted and wrapped around her side before the kick arrived. Brent's leg hit the armor and bounced off. He stumbled backward. Impossible, he muttered. The crowd now stared in silence. No one laughed anymore. Kaelna raised one arm slowly. Her armor opened at the wrist, revealing something glowing inside. It hummed, not like a machine, like something breathing. Brent backed up. What are you? She looked at him and answered. You don't want to know. Then she stepped forward again. One more step. The ground lit up brighter now. The light crawled up her legs, then around her body. Her armor began to glow like fireflies on a dark night. Suddenly, Brent dropped. His weapon died not because he wanted to, because it melted. He looked at his hand. The metal had turned soft and fallen apart. Kaelna's armor did not attack him. It only reacted. The announcer paused. The fight has not ended. Continue. Brent stood still. His pride told him to fight, but something deep inside him, something human, whispered fear. He looked at Kaelna again. She hadn't touched him, but she had already won something. Not the match, not the crowd. She had won his attention and maybe his respect. What is your armor made of? He asked. Kaelna looked at him, her eyes glowing even brighter. She said one word, memory. He didn't understand. Not yet, but something told him he would die soon. Asterisk. The challenge gave his silence after the first fight stayed heavy in the air. No one cheered. No one laughed. The human soldier Brent left the arena, still confused. He hadn't been defeated, but he hadn't won either. Kaelna's armor had stopped every attack. Her quiet voice and glowing armor had shaken him more than any punch. He sat alone in the waiting room, staring at his hand. The glove was torn where his weapon had melted. Something wasn't right. This wasn't just advanced alien tech. This was something else. Behind him, the screen showed replays of Kaelna's movements. Slow, calm, perfect. Brent whispered, it's like her armor thinks in another part of the ship. Kaelna sat in silence. Her armor shifted quietly, like it was breathing. Soft blue lights ran across its surface. They don't understand you, she whispered. The armor responded with a gentle hum. Only she could hear it. Only she could feel its warmth. A voice came from the door. A tall alien with silver skin walked in. It was her mentor. Thali, you handled yourself well. Thali said. Kaelna looked down. They fear me. Good. Thali replied. They should. Kaelna frowned. I'm not here to scare them. Then why are you here? She didn't answer. On the command deck, human generals watched the recordings. "That's not normal armor," one officer said. "It absorbed energy and adapted in real time." Another officer leaned forward. "Her armor, it moved before. The hit landed. Predictive reaction, or neural control, or something worse," the admiral added. "It might be alive." The technician spoke up. "Sir, shall we allow her to continue?" The admiral's eyes narrowed. "Yes, but this time, we test her." "How?" "Send the next challenger. Someone faster. Someone angry." He looked at the roster. "Send Commander Vec." Vec was known for his speed and aggression, part alien, part machine. He hated anything he couldn't beat. When he heard his name called, he smiled. Finally, the next day, the arena filled again. This time, the crowd was quiet. They didn't laugh. They remembered Kaelna stepped onto the field once more. Her armor glowed dimly, waiting. On the other side, Vec slammed his metal fists together. He growled, "You're not scary, blue girl." Kaelna looked at him. "I don't want to fight you," Vec grinned, "but I want to crush you." The announcer yelled, "Begin." Vec rushed forward like a machine storm. His punches came fast. 5, 6, 7 strikes in seconds. Kaelna's armor moved. Every strike missed. No, not missed. Avoided. Her armor shifted around each hit, guiding her body just out of the way. It was like a dance. Vek growled, "Stand still." He jumped high and came down with both fists. This time, Kaelna raised her hand. The armor expanded, forming a glowing shield. Boom. Dust flew into the air. The arena shook. When the dust cleared, Vec was on the ground. His metal arms were bent. Not broken, but close. Kaelna stood over him. She hadn't taken a step back. Vek shouted, "What are you?" Kaelna looked down. Her voice was quiet. "Someone who remembers." Suddenly, her armor glowed brighter. Lines of light ran across her chest plate. The crowd gasped. Memories flickered across the armor. Faces, battles, a child, a burning planet, a promise. Vek stared. What is that?" Kaelna said, "This armor is not a weapon. It is a story." Brent watched from the crowd. He felt something in his chest. Respect, curiosity, maybe even fear. He whispered to himself, "She doesn't fight to win. She fights to be understood." The match ended. Kaelna didn't finish Vec. She turned and walked away. But the challenge wasn't over. In the command room, the admiral stood. "Send the human next." "Who?" "Brent. He's the only one who didn't try to hurt her." Brent got the message in his quarters. He looked at the wall for a long time. Then he stood up. "I'm going back in." The Doberman walked toward the arena gate. He didn't feel fear, but he didn't feel brave either. He felt something new. Respect. Deep, quiet respect for the alien girl who had done nothing but defend. He stopped just before entering. A medic tried to check his arm. "I'm fine," Brent said. "Are you ready to fight her?" the medic asked. Brent didn't answer. He looked through the glass toward the center of the arena. Kaelna stood there already, still, calm, like she had been waiting. The gates opened. Brent stepped in. The air felt heavy, like something sacred was about to happen. Not war, not battle, something else. The crowd was quiet again. No one cheered. They didn't know what to expect. Brent took his place. He looked at Kaelna across the wide arena floor. "You didn't come here to fight," he said softly. Kaelna nodded. "I came to be heard." The announcer didn't shout this time. His voice was low. "Begin." But neither of them moved. For several seconds, they just looked at each other. Brent raised his hand slowly. "I'm not going to attack first." Kaelna tilted her head. "Then neither will I." They stood still. The audience waited, confused, bored. But a few watched closer. Something important was happening. Brent finally stepped forward. "Your armor. It's alive, isn't it?" Kaelna nodded. "Yes, but it doesn't feed on blood. It remembers." "Remembers what?" "Pain, war, love, kindness, everything." Brent looked down at the metal ground. "Why me?" he asked. Kaelna stepped forward too. Her armor rippled gently as she moved. "You were the only one who didn't laugh." He didn't expect that answer. Suddenly, the command center sent a sound signal. "This is a fight." The admiral's voice snapped through the arena speakers. "Engage or be removed." Brent clenched his fists, then slowly relaxed them again. "I don't want to hurt her," he said. Kaelna raised her arm. The armor opened slightly, showing a small orb of light. touch it," she said. Brent looked unsure. "What will happen? You'll see me, and I'll see you." He hesitated, then slowly reached out. His hand touched the glowing orb. In one moment, he saw it all. Flashes of memory, her world, once green and full of life, her people, their smiles, their pain when the skies burned, her running through smoke, carrying a child, the armor wrapping around her for the first time, the armor crying with her, growing with her. He gasped and pulled back. Kaelna's single quotes S voice was soft. "Now you understand." Brent's eyes were wide. "Your armor, it chose you." She nodded. "It's not mine. I belong to it." Suddenly, red lights blinked across the arena. A gate opened behind Kaelna. Metal boots hit the floor. Soldiers stormed in, 6 of them, heavy weapons, auto-locking aim. "Target the alien girl," one of them said. "Take her down." Brent stood in front of Kaelna. "Stop," he shouted. "She hasn't hurt anyone. Step aside," a soldier ordered. Kaelna reached for Brent's arm. "You don't have to protect me." Brent looked at her. "Yes, I do." One of the soldiers fired. A beam of energy shot forward. But before it could reach them, Kaelna's armor expanded, wrapping around both of them. The light hit the armor and bent around them like water around a stone. Brent stared. "It's protecting me too." Kaelna nodded. "It remembers you now." More shots came. The armor held strong. No cracks. No sound. It didn't just defend it. Adapted. Then it changed again. The armor moved over Brent's body. Slowly, carefully, covering his chest, his arms, his back. He felt warmth, strength, a memory not his own. Kaelna whispered, "Now we fight together." The soldiers hesitated. One said, "Sir, the armor is spreading. Fire everything." Came the voice from the speakers, but it was delayed. Brent opened his hand. The armor responded. Light exploded outward, not to destroy, but to push. A wave of soft force knocked the soldiers down. Without injury. Kaelna's single quotes S armor calmed again. She looked at Brent. "You didn't want this," she said. He nodded. "But maybe I was meant for it." The arena was silent again. Then one person stood and clapped. Then another. And another. Not a cheer. A moment of understanding. Asterisk the secret after the duel. Everything changed. Brent was no longer just a soldier, and Kaelna was no longer just an alien girl in strange armor. Now there was something new, something the humans didn't understand, and that scared the people in charge. Inside the command room, the admiral stood with a frown. "What just happened down there?" he asked. Her armor spread to him, an officer said. "It reacted like it accepted him. Technology doesn't do that." Another muttered. The admiral turned toward the large screen. "We need to know what that armor is, and we need to control it." He paused. "Bring them both in. Tell them it's just a debrief." Brent sat in a quiet medical room. His chest was still covered in part of Kaelna's armor. It didn't feel like metal. It felt like trust. Kaelna sat across from him. "Why did it choose me?" he asked. She looked into his eyes. "It didn't choose you. I did." Brent blinked. "But the armor only listens to those who listen to others," she said softly. "You didn't fight to win. You stood for someone else. That's rare." Brent nodded slowly. "It's alive, isn't it?" he asked. Kaelna placed a hand on her armor. "Yes. It was born during a time of great loss. My planet was dying. My people were hunted. I was carrying a small child. She was the last of her family." Brent leaned in. "The armor found us. It wrapped around both of us. It felt our pain. It took in our memories." She paused. Her voice shook a little. "But the child didn't survive." Brent looked down. Kaelna continued. "From that day, the armor remembered her voice, her laughter, her fear. It grew. It learned, and it stayed with me." A soft beep came from the wall. "Officer Brent and alien Kaelna, please report to the command deck." Brent stood. "Sounds friendly." Kaelna didn't smile. "They want the armor," she said. "Can they take it?" he asked. She shook her head. "Not without losing something bigger." The command deck was silent when they entered. The admiral gave a fake smile. "Thank you for coming. We just have a few questions." Kaelna said nothing. Brent replied, "Ask." "The armor, where is it from?" Kaelna looked at him. "Not a place. A moment." The admiral frowned. "What does that mean?" "It was born when all hope died," she said. "Is it a weapon? Only if you try to break it." The admiral leaned forward. "Then let us test it. Allow us to study it. Maybe copy it. Brent stepped in front of Kaelna. No. The Admiral's voice grew cold. Soldier, you are still under our command. Brent stared at him. Then give me a new order. The Admiral paused. Fine, he said at last, but understand this armor is now a risk to our systems, our protocols, even our future. Kaelna looked him in the eye. Then maybe your future needs to change. After they left the room, Kaelna pulled Brent aside. We have to leave. They won't let us. They don't have to. She held up a small glowing crystal. This is a map, she said, to a memory gate. It can show them everything, not just in images, in feelings, in truth. Where is it? He asked. Outside the station, deep in the asteroid belt. They'll try to stop us. Then we move fast. Back in the command center, red lights blinked. Sir, an officer said. They're gone. The Admiral's eyes narrowed. Track them. Send the elite unit. Kaelna and Brent entered the small ship. The armor covered their bodies now, stronger than before. It moved with their breathing, protected by memory, powered by something deeper. Then science died as they left the space station. Brent looked out the window. Are you sure this gate will work? It always opens, Kaelna said. For who? For those who don't want to forget. But behind them, 3 warships began to follow. Inside the lead ship was the elite unit. Trained for war. Armed with orders to kill. The chase had begun. And Kaelna's secret was about to be revealed to the galaxy. The Betrayal stars around them blurred as the small ship flew through deep space. Kaelna sat in the pilot's seat, eyes calm, armor glowing faintly. Brent stood beside her. Checking the radar. 3 ships behind us, he said. They're getting closer. Kaelna didn't flinch. They're scared. Of what? The truth. He looked at her. You mean the memory gate? Yes. Once they see what I've seen, they'll never see war the same way again. Meanwhile, inside the lead ship, Captain Dorn of the elite unit prepared his team. Targets are heading toward the Forbidden Zone, he said. Our mission is to stop them before they reach the memory gate. We are authorized to use full force. A soldier stepped forward. Sir, one of them is our own Brent. Dorn paused, then treat him like a traitor. Inside the small ship, Brent sat down beside Kaelna. How far are we? He asked. 5 minutes, she replied. He looked down at his chest. The armor had fully wrapped around him now. It was no longer just hers. It was theirs. He could feel its pulse, like it had a heart. It's alive, he said again, almost to himself. Kaelna nodded. Yes, and it remembers pain. Suddenly, the ship shook. A blast hit their side. They spun through space, shields holding. Kaelna said. They're not going to stop, Brent said. Neither are we. The warship surrounded them. A voice came through the comms. This is Captain Dorn. Shut down your engines and prepare to be boarded, Kaelna responded, her voice clear and strong. This armor remembers every time someone said surrender. We will not. The signal cut. The enemy ship fired again. This time, a beam cut across their wing. Brent turned to Kaelna. We have to land somewhere. There's an old mining moon nearby, she said. We can hide there. They crash-landed. On the dusty moon. Metal groaned. Sparks flew. The ship slid across the rocky surface and stopped near a deep canyon. They climbed out quickly. Brent looked at the sky. They'll be here in seconds, Kaelna pointed. The gate is down there. A narrow path led into the canyon. They ran together. Behind them, elite soldiers dropped from the sky. 6 of them, fast, silent, deadly. They followed without speaking. One soldier paused and aimed, but the leader stopped him. Wait, trap them first. Separate them. They moved ahead through a side path. Kaelna and Brent reached the canyon floor. Giant stones stood in circles. In the middle, an arch made of black crystal. The memory gate. It was not just a machine. It was a living wound in space. We made it, Brent whispered. But then a voice echoed through the rocks. Double quotes. No, you walked into our hands. Soldiers stepped out from behind the stones. Weapons ready. Brent moved in front of Kaelna. Don't, he said. But then something strange happened. One of the soldiers removed their helmet. It was Soren, Brent's old teammate. Brent, Soren said, step away from her. No, they told us you were brainwashed. Soren said. They lied, Brent replied. This isn't about weapons. It's about something bigger. Soren looked at him with pain in his eyes. They gave us an order. Orders change. Brent said, not this one. Soren raised his weapon. Kaelna stepped forward. But another soldier fired first. The beam hit Kaelna in the back. She fell to her knees. Brent caught her. No, her armor reacted, glowing bright and pushing the soldiers back with a pulse of force. But Kaelna was hurt. Her breathing slowed. Why? She whispered. Brent held her hand. We trusted them. Kaelna touched the memory gate. Her blood blue and glowing spread across the black crystal. And the gate opened. The soldiers froze. Images burst out. Sounds. Voices. The pain of dying. Worlds. The cry of children lost in war. Memories flooded the canyon. Ian dropped his weapon. What is this? He whispered. Brent stood, holding Kaelna. This is her story. The armor on Brent grew brighter. It carried not just her memories now, but his. Both together. A light shot into the sky. The other soldiers backed away. The gate showed them who Kaelna truly was. Not a threat. A survivor. Not a weapon. A voice. Kaelna looked up at Brent. You still believe? He nodded. Always. But above them, the warship hovered. Its main cannon aimed directly at the canyon. The admiral had made his decision. End it. He ordered. Asterisk. The awakening sky above the canyon lit up red. The human warship hovered overhead, its main cannon glowing, ready to fire. The admiral had seen enough. He did not want to understand. He wanted to end the story before others could hear it. Brent stood beside Kaelna, still holding her hand. Her armor was dim now, cracked. She was breathing slowly, eyes half closed. There. Going to destroy the gate. He said. Kaelna tried to speak, but her voice was weak. The memory must live. The gate behind them pulsed, flickering between worlds. Glowing lines ran along the canyon walls, like veins of truth spreading through stone. Brent looked up at the ship. He knew the weapon could kill them in seconds, but he didn't step back. Instead, he bent down and placed his other hand on Kaelna's chest, over the armor. You saved me, he whispered. Now let me save you. He didn't know how, but something inside him believed. The armor responded. It glowed under his hand, soft at first, then stronger, brighter. A wave of energy pushed outward, covering both of them. Kaelna's eyes opened wide. Brent, she whispered. Don't speak, he said. Rest. Her armor began to shift. It flowed across his arms, his chest, his back. But this time, something was different. The armor didn't just protect him. It bonded. The soldiers around the canyon stared in shock. One of them whispered, It's merging with him. The armor wrapped around Brent's face. His eyes glowed blue gold. He stood, taller than before, his body covered in a perfect blend of human and alien memory. And then, it spoke. Not with a mouth. With feeling. With light. Images flashed in the sky above the canyon, projected from the armor. Memories. Truth. War. Hope. A mother's final words. A child's laugh before the silence. Kaelna single quotes as story. And now, Brent's on the warship. The admiral saw the display. Shut it down. He shouted. Fire the cannon, sir. The technician said. The system is failing. Something is inside our controls. The ship's lights blinked. Alarms rang. The cannon shut down by itself. What is happening? The admiral screamed. The ship's screen flickered. Kaelna's face appeared, glowing, calm, strong. But her voice was Brent's. You cannot destroy memory. Back on the moon. Brent knelt beside her again. Kaelna single quotes as color was returning. Her wounds began to heal. The armor was giving back what it had stored. Not just strength. Life. She opened her eyes fully and smiled weakly. You awaken it. Brent nodded. Together, suddenly, more lights appeared in the sky. Ships. Not human. Not Kaelna's people either. Others. Aliens from across the galaxy who had followed the signal from the gate. They came in peace, drawn by the armor's call. For the first time in years, they saw the truth. They saw Kaelna. And they didn't turn away. Ian and the other soldiers lowered their weapons. He stepped closer to Brent. What now? Soren asked. Brent looked at the memory gate. We share it, he said. With who? With everyone. Kaelna sat up slowly. The armor glowed around her again, fully repaired. But now, it was no longer hers alone. It was part of something greater. It remembered Brent. His doubts, his choices, his bravery. The warship began to retreat. The admiral had lost control. His orders had failed. Truth had reached the people before fear could silence it. On the canyon floor, Kaelna and Brent stood side by side. Their armor shining. Their voices united. Memory is not a weapon, they said. It is a bridge. The gate stayed open now. But it didn't show war anymore. It showed a path to understanding. The healing to something new. Kaelna looked at Brent. You were never meant to fight me. He smiled. I was meant to walk beside you. The reckoning stars above the canyon were calm now. The warship was gone. The human command had pulled back, defeated not by weapons, but by truth. The memory gate still glowed behind Kaelna, and Brent, soft and steady like a heartbeat. But something had changed in the galaxy. For the first time in many years, people were listening, not just watching. Listening. Ships from many worlds landed on the dusty moon. Scientists. Peacekeepers. Witnesses. They came not to take the armor, but to learn from it. Kaelna and Brent stood in the center of it all. Their armor no longer separated them. It united them. Kaelna spoke to the gathered crowd. My people were forgotten, our voices buried, our pain turned into silence. She held her hand over her chest. This armor remembered what others wanted to forget. It carried the final moments of those who had no one left to speak for them. Brent stepped forward. We are not here to fight anymore. We are here to offer memory, not as a weapon but as a warning. The canyon grew quiet, not out of fear, but respect. On Earth, screens across the planet lit up with the broadcast. People saw Kaelna, heard her words, felt her pain. Many cried, some turned away, but most stayed. Watched and listened. The armor began to share. It sent echoes of memory across systems, not in violence. In honesty. War. Loss. Hope. And the faces of those who once had no name. The memory gate reached far, deeper than anyone expected, and something strange happened. Fights stopped. Small ones at first. Then larger ones. People who once hated paused, because now they could feel what others felt, not through speeches, but through shared memory. The human government called for peace talks with Kaelna's people. The aliens who once feared humans began to send messages of unity. The armor had done what no weapon ever could. It connected hearts. Kaelna and Brent returned to the site of their first meeting, the arena. It was empty now. Silent. But something had been built there. A monument, a statue of a human and an alien stand, side by side. Under it, simple words. She remembered. He listened. Together, they healed. Brent looked at the statue. Never thought I'd be part of history. Kaelna smiled. You're part of memory now. What happens next? He asked. She looked at the stars. Someone else will need the armor. Will it leave us? Not unless we forget who we are. Years passed. Peace spread. Not everywhere. Not perfectly, but stronger than before. Kaelna and Brent trained new protectors, those who chose to listen instead of fight. The armor became a symbol, not of power. But of understanding. One day, Brent stood by himself on the edge of the canyon. He placed a small stone in the dirt. It had a name carved into it. Soren, the friend who gave his life during a later mission to protect the colony. Kaelna joined him. He understood in the end. She said. Brent nodded. He gave everything. Kaelna touched the armor on Brent's shoulder. Then the armor remembers him now. Brent smiled sadly. Good. Many seasons later, children from every planet came to see the gate. They placed their hands on the crystal and closed their eyes. They didn't see war. They saw light. A little girl laughing, a soldier offering water. An alien mother singing a soft song. They saw what mattered. And far above, in the cold silence of deep space, a new gate began to glow. Memory was spreading, not just from Kaelna's world, but from every heart that dared to care. Back on the moon, Kaelna and Brent sat together. The wind was soft. The sky was peaceful. Do you think we changed anything? Brent asked. Kaelna leaned her head on his shoulder. We didn't change everything, she said. Just enough. And the armor, resting beside them on the warm rock, pulsed gently, still listening, still remembering, still waiting for the next voice brave enough to whisper, I care.